And this is going to be the map pick of Triumph as well here. So put in the driver's seat after a dominant first map here. We're heading into Inferno, and full control lies into this Triumph roster.
Yeah, absolutely. Just with how confident they were in the first and how much more important things like utility get, it's going to be even harder for GGPR to find rounds overall. Good move by Insaniac, able to get some early info of them pushing top mid. They haven't been able to find anything else, but they have been willing to push Banana at least. They're going to be pushing a little bit too far, as Wills and Sexy can hold this crossfire and maybe even regress if they're interested. JT wisely moving on back.
Making a dink down there early on. But it's only through the wood wall, so not the end of the world. Flashbang setup rolling out as well. Ready for the execute, it seems. We're going to see some aggression here. B-Wolves finds the 2 opening frags. He's able to clear out single-handedly that B side. This Beaky, wow, still close by. He's good for the headshot to slow down some aggression. He's repositioned as well in towards the construction side of things here. So not out of the realms of possibility just yet. I'll start to hear all of the footsteps and needs to turn around here shortly. Doubles down here for another. Gonna get a 3K. Can't make it a 4 though. George is gonna best him here, but great damage towards the tail end from Beaky, putting this round into contention, and the double swing comes through as well. Hate just taking the fight and will eat the bullet because of it. Maybe a little bit over aggressive. And you can see now George game plan is to try and plant the bomb, but he just can't get an idea of where to do it just yet. And the boost comes through to close things out.
Yep, able to quickly recover. If it wasn't for that anchor from Beaky on B, there would not be around for us to see. Able to find that 3K and keep full control of the B site as long as possible. And even tagging 1 down to 6, just 1 bullet short of the 4K, just allows that site to be retaken and just deny the possibility of anything happening for Triumph there. And actually allow them to get that pistol, which is going to be very important. That good CT start. You see, let them get 2. As it's only pistols for Triumph, and very unlikely for them to find much with just a single Deagle and P250, especially with one of the 2 gone.
Already a slow start here for Triumph, like you mentioned. Dropping a few. Looking for some continued aggression here is Inshaniak towards the top of middle. A lot to spot out here. As you can see, Exceed, he's been put on watch by the MP9 here. Now B-Will's looking for a shot towards the top of Banana. Spamming down.
They left B completely open. It's just Beaky. This Deagle is able to take him down. That's a bomb plant.
Cool. Clothesline's the first here, and you're exactly right. But yeah, that's just what Beaky can do. He even saw in the pistol round when he was left alone. He finds 3 kills, and he will once again save his team from that kind of disaster, like you mentioned, of giving up bomb plant. So GGPR take the first 2. Now here comes the real gun round, though. For this,
yeah, Beaky can be consistent with that anchoring. It might be able to get them a lot more rounds than you'd normally be able to get away with having such an important position being held successfully by a player. The anchoring, one of the most difficult things to do, especially when you have all these AKs coming your way and just MP9s to work with, treating it as a bit of a bonus round. But they'll be sure to throw a lot of utility trying to go for that banana take and actually win it on out. And Beaky's able to keep his life despite nading in the open, though does lose his teammate JT in the process.
Yeah, I mean, right now we are seeing a lot of effective anchoring, but here's a 4v5 immediately put on the scoreboard for Triumph. They're looking to continue to take middle. For the most part, been falling off. Beaky has stacked over here towards A as well, and there's a lot of chip damage taken off of Triumph's shoulders, but no frags quite yet. And look at this continued aggression that's going to come down mid. And Shaniak, he's in for a world of hurt if he's not careful. He gets caught with a smoke out. Oh my god, a little bit over aggressive there as he peeks down Banana, and now it's going to be a late rotate in. MP9 in hand, he's just going to peek down. He has to pull off a miracle. He's able to find the first. He nails that headshot onto George. He's looking for more on the corner. Bomb's being planted here. There's not quite another, though. I started to believe for a second, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a 4v2 retake.
We'll cause a nice little bit of trouble, though I'm sure things will be put to an end soon from Exceed taking out his old friends. Old friends would be a harsh way to say it. Sure, they're all friends. Old teammates, rather.
Yeah, yeah, might
But
be generous.
yeah, able to get that third round and absolutely an overextension there. Just throwing the smoke from bottom banana in a semi-open position, allowing yourself to get sprayed down rather than backing up and just smoking off to give the pressure while keeping yourself in safe territory.
And
You always want to be careful when you use utility and where.
here's the weird thing about that as well is you know exactly what to do in that position when you're alone on B is to just jump spot banana. And with that smoke in hand, once you take a first point of contact, you could just smoke off the choke point and win the round essentially. Instead, the fact that he uses both his Molotov and his smoke immediately just kind of shows that he kind of walked into that one a little bit, maybe willy-nilly. Now, it's going to be a B-side execute rolling on out, and a good eagle shot from B. He's doing a great job of fighting here, but is it enough to close things out?
JT with a pretty nice position just on the stair smoke, just having the room to play around the site, treated as like a giant wide pillar to play around and move through. But I'll have to anchor with Beaky and go aggressive, able to find that first shotgun. Deeg finds a second, but it's George causing a bit of an issue, even when blind, finding the 3K to keep the opportunity for triumph in check, despite how concerning the situation is. And Shaniak's holding in case he rotates, or is just waiting for the bomb down to get better info.
He's trying to make his way up banana after biding his time here, and George is going to meet him shortly. Yeah, that's a freebie. Triumph, give up an eco GGPR on the CT side. Showing some serious strength here. Much, much more clean on Triumph's map pick, at least in the early stages. Now we're very, very early on. But that one has to be a little bit frustrating. You thought you had an access point in towards B after all those kills, but then MP9 swings straight through the smoke and it keeps you down. It knocks you back down a peg, and Triumph are going
And
to
it all
go.
has to do with JT able to find that miraculous double with the Deagle. Just clean first spam onto the first and able to
Oh,
find the shot on one of the tagged players to finish it. And that will help with the Soniac getting the first pick in the next round. Already give them that man advantage and try to make sure that they convert things and continue this solid start.
a good smoke towards middle as well. Keeping that one down to buy some time here. Keep that aggression at bay. It's going to be the name of the game here. They do have a pretty heavy bracket set up. Off angle coming through from Cuz, nearly connecting with the
Almost
eagle shot.
landing the spray
Yeah.
on him.
See if he goes for
I'm
it again.
surprised one of the stray bullets just didn't inaccurately land on him.
Right.
Fortunate day for him. But Hate seems to be aware of the possibility.
Ooh.
It wasn't enough to scare him off. He saw the shoulder,
Oh, man.
not able to land the shot, but able to find a tag at least. Caused a little bit of trouble. And all these players are stacked on quad. They can get into CT spawn here until the Soniac's pushing on up.
Ooh.
But misses the first flick. Has to repeak it.
Oh,
Nick
bomb's
Seeps
down.
taken from short, and that's the bomb down. But George is already well prepared here. And his Soniac's able to get that trade. Able to make it 2 onto Kaza, but peeks through, and the wallpaper's too thin. Pluto will just shoot him through with the M4. Able to clean things out there.
There we are. Will be a 4th round secured. Now, it's a little bit of damage towards the tail end for B-Whales with the Tech 9. It's still lacking in rounds here in the early stages for Triumph. A much slower start than what we saw on Vertigo. We're going to get another buy-in here. Lots of utility being brought out on this T side, but right now it's been Beaky keeping that at bay in a strong fashion. Johnny Ack and even Pluto stepping up to the plate as well. And once again, Johnny Ack is going to find himself an opening frag here with the AWP on banana this time, with a little help from that Furious smoke to kick things off.
Yeah, as long as Insomniac keeps getting these opening picks for GGPR, their chances to seal this map away just skyrocket. Just, it's so much easier to get these rounds when you have that man advantage. You get that breathing room. Worst case, you have a 2v2 on your retake. Things get broken up more evenly. And they even have 4 stacked up on A. Prepared. Everyone leaning towards here except for Sixy with the bomb. Willing to stay towards bottom ramp. And Beaky Wow is the main one playing towards B with a more reasonable, can we say, back B position, just going for the info. If they happen to go towards that site, certainly we'll be able to call that flashbang. and trying to anchor hard on CT for that first contact. So he knows that smoke's soon fading, and the nade timing's perfect. It's going to be
Oh,
beautiful. Bring George down to half, but he's still going to have to anchor this site on his own as the flashbang comes on through. Maybe players coming to assist, but they won't be here anytime soon. And he's able to find one, almost a second, taking down 60. And so much damage being brought on through, and a man advantage for GGPR, all because of that initial pick from Insomniac.
Beaky with a decent hold. Now it's going to be up close by. It's a coffin stack. They'll see the barrel shortly. Swings out. 60 knows he needs to make a move. Be proactive. Now it's Succeed. Trading things back. He's fought his way back into a 1v1 now. He's on low HP though. Only 21 to his name versus a full HP Cuz. Flashbang's now rolled off. Cuz, is he going for the full stick? Oh, he is. Balls of Steel. He's going to continue it. Can he find it? Oh my god, just in time. GGPR will take the 5th round. Not scared of anything. Cuz just walks up to that bomb. Knows that his opponent is going to be hesitant. Certainly was the case right there. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, GGPR are taking every single risk this time around, and everything's panning out for them, allowing them to get these rounds and build this lead. Triumph's still able to go for a buy, has a couple of Galeals, but able to bring up that AWP, might be able to try to confront and take down Insomniac, and all this trouble he's been creating over this first half so far, and try to get Triumph more rounds and stop this dominance from GGPR.
Actually going to open up the round here in this one. Able to take down the banana player. Now looking for a trade back as Insomniac onto Exceed. Close by. Ready and waiting. There comes a swing and a miss from rather Insomniac, but Pluto will not. He'll be able to best his opponent and fall out of line. Equalize into the 4v4, but aggression towards banana here. Heavy HP being taken from both ends of things. And everyone's just going to walk away, you know, shaking hands here, conceding that damage trade-off. And maybe a B-side executes in the cards, but a third player even has rotated over as well in the form of
GGPR taking the gamble and rotating there. They want Insomniac to be where he's going to have the most impact. And they're doing the default CT smoke. They're not doing it from a safe position. Picked out for free. Something that certainly shouldn't have happened. And swinging too wide means Sexy's left 1v3 caught in the open. And GGPR seem to be absolutely in control for the CT half so far. Triumph not finding any ways to adjust.
Yeah, full control. I mean, this is not as we'd expected as well. Did not think it would look this confident coming through from the DT side. And they're certainly showing up pretty hard.
Yeah, looks like they put a lot of work in to the second map to try to be competitive against Triumph, and it's working out so far. Finding all these opportunities, get this lead. But all it takes is one round for things to fall apart. This still can end, for example, at a 9-6 half in favor of Triumph. I don't think they're going to be taking this round, but they certainly can keep it a very competitive scoreline. There always is that opportunity, especially with the CT side, with Exceed going for that first opening, able to find it on Kaza. Has to try to find more off of it, but instead it'll be Hate going for the next contact, confirming the location of that AWP, going for some CT info and trying to swarm around both sides of the site, make it impossible to breathe and choke them out as they surround them. But with the flashbangs, Beaky pushes through, and despite the flashbang being late, he's still able to take one before Wheels is able to get that trade with the Tech 9. He gets taken down by Pluto with that M4, forced into the open, but George able to get 2, going for 3, finds it, able to trade Sexy out, and Triumph are able to finally get their second round and still be able to bring an AWP to the next.
I like how confident they played that as well in that last initial trade there. 60 just going for the wide swing, knows that he has a teammate close by to find that. And now look at the economy of GGPR. It's 5 USPs in play right now. They don't have much to spend. I think they're just going to go for a buy in this next round and fully concede it. Maybe I've spoken too soon. As we are seeing
with too much cash to use, grabbing that mag 7 because why not? I think it's going to be too fragile to be able to get kills effectively, but we'll have to see. He'll have to be very fast on that trigger to get away with it. But he is being given that opportunity. Exceed's in the same position again. Pontiac trying to creep it out, get that info, and is brought down to 12. Fortunate Galil hasn't shot through and taken him out entirely. We'll have to concede and hope he has the fortune, or hot potato the gun to someone else.
See if that's the case here. Oh, gonna rain out on it. He likes it cuz they're gonna continue this as well. Molotov catches them off. That's gonna burn all of them. They're forced to run around in apartments here right to maybe the AK as well. Beaky. He's been spotted out here. Holding down the line. 2 kills rain on out in time. Shaniak gonna follow the same. And JT on the opposite side of the map, the wrong side of the map, is looking to make a kill happen with USB. B wills. Not gonna let that happen though. Probably have to take a third.
Yep, able to get that safe conversion. And it makes sense they grabbed a little bit of weaponry because they do have to half buy it unless they want to go for an MP9s, which I would significantly doubt. Familiar nade stack going into play, besting a little bit, keeping around that 3K mark once again. Try to build up that loss bonus and at least get some damage onto your opponents. I imagine Triumph will be cautious of the possibility of these HEs trying to stay passive, but they do have the space to push through mid, but they won't be able to find these picks as George just sidewinds Pluto. They're able to handle the entire push. Beaky Wow is able to find one with that P250, but otherwise nothing to say other than giving Triumph their 4th and having the weapons to fight in round number 11.
Once again, we'll have the AWP as well here on the hands of Inshaniak. He do some damage with it. You've seen a lot of aggressive positioning from him. And this triple B setup is kind of hinting at that once again. It looks like they're going to maybe push down Banana here, utilizing that AWP as Molotov to scare them off. Nades are just raining up. And this is going to be Triumph's Banana control. They're way too hungry for that to hang around here. One still does, though. And it's able to find the frag. JT going to find that kill. And now they're repositioned back towards A with some pace as well.
He's just hunting for these engagements to stick with him for a second, but he's not concerned about that. He's just clearing the site, able to find all the space needed. Players just hiding in Cold Zero. Tesla's able to find one, but just giving too much space away for the rest of the site to be just taken over, picked apart. And now it's Insomniac with the AWP to retake with a single rifle to help on out, and the rifle's already been seen. JT's position's known. They're trying to be creative and boost up, but Exceed can see over this. He sees the barrel, takes him down. JT's just trying to run away with this AWP, and it looks like Sexy isn't having any of that idea. Already prepared to hunt him down.
Here we are. We got JT saving his rifle. Not a bad round right there from Triumph, able to overwhelm them. I mean, that's just very fast trading right there. Coming through.
Yeah.
And it will be
And
60
Sexy did a fantastic move, boosting on top of the lattice and getting on top of the well to actually have an angle without even being seen. He was just able to, Sexy was able to just chill, scoped in, just looking at his opponent, staring at CT, and just freely take him whenever he felt like it. We'll make sure it's not before he gets away and denies that op from being saved. But something worthy to note.
Now
Being
holding
able
on
to avoid that op sightline.
Eagles here already. A little leg shot coming through from 60. We'll find the opener. Pick down in
I think it was a chest shot through the corner of the wall, considering he went down to 11. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Oh. Very rough start here. I mean, it shouldn't be much, though. Just pistols doing some damage. It's going to be the name of the game. And so far, it's just been damage onto Exceed. To open things up, the A-side stack to come through here from the CT side. They've got a lot of players huddled around the pit. And what is the game plan here? It seems like they're taking brackets control, but with Triumph's default that they're currently running, they have plenty of time to move around.
Yep. Looks like Cuz is able to find one, able to sidewind Exceed and get revenge for taking that A site last round. But Sexy's already just staring with this P250, trying to use that utility as bait. Doesn't want to be unprepared at just the wrong moment. JT's just holding this angle, and 8 will hard clear him out as they go further into this A site. Likely to clear both these players, just trying to hide. It's Sonic Exposition's known, taken out. And 8 will hold down the fire. Enjoy the BM.
Oh, lovely stuff.
And
right
now
there.
we have an even scoreline.
Very quickly as well. 6-6 right now, and it's going to be 5 on the trot for this Triumph roster. Feeling more and more confident as time goes on. Another gun round I'm gonna rattle on off, but it's been very, very slow in these past couple. For GGPR, when at once they looked like they were having control, I think they've kind of settled down more so in going for opening duels, and that's kind of been a game changer here. Once Triumph aren't immediately in that 4v5 and they're able to execute with their full manpower, they're able to work these trades. And look at that, it's going to be Inshaniak looking for a collateral, so very close, but he's not able to find it.
Good job by George making sure that isn't possible by having good positioning, not getting caught out. But the one thing going on is a very aggressive banana take, and even a little bit of damage brought onto Wills. And as George is going through this, he doesn't care, decides the wrong angle, but Wills still finds the trade anyways. And JT's already running with concern. They've been able to just push through Banana. They had no reason, plenty of time left, and just wait for the smoke to fade, but decided just to push through it anyways because they felt like it. And they leave it to a 3-on-3. The gamble's towards B. Pluto will be able to get the info on A in just a second. Knowing Triumph, all that has to happen is Wills has to look this direction, and the shot missing makes it even more of a problem, not able to get that pick. Carefully smoke arc, and the shoulder was seen. Sexy's just staring towards him, jumping around, and Will be the one to keep his back covered so he doesn't end up exposed. And Will's once again covering his teammates. Utility being thrown, trying to get into the bomb site without getting shot in the back. Wills has you covered.
Sexy gonna drop JT as well to close things out. 7 rounds. Try and take the lead here. I mean, after losing that first couple of pistols, they were able to win that first gun round. And now all of a sudden, it was a little bit of dominance. Now try and take it right back. All the control that was being built from GGPR, that solid, stable half, fades away very quickly as Beebles hit some blinders in that last one, covering his teammates' backs, covering all angles. And now we're going to see a half by of sorts here. A lot of utility, a lot of nades rolling down the range here. Imagine going to do some chip damage, but it's 60 to find the opener.
With that, A site's open. Everyone gambled towards B.
Oh.
They picked up that scout, and they're just running on through.
Haven't made it into
and
sight
the
yet.
only thing makes it worse, even though it's with the bomb, they're pushing Arch. Will's just going for more engagements, trying to bewilder the opponents. And even with that, Pluto find one through the smoke. Hate responds right back and takes him out. And because it's the last one left with a Deagle. Though I think that one from the library should be able to get picked up at least, though how much it will help will be likely very little.
Oh, it was almost helpful. He almost falls to it, but luckily he lives to fight another day. And with one around the corner, he's going to bail out. Let's see if it converts. Oh my god, what a peek.
Oh.
The nade might do it. Not quite.
He goes into the pit,
oh!
It saves him. Oh, a double though. Okay, things we put to an end. Sexy says he's had too much fun and puts him back out of the round. But still, some nice shots and getting some damage with that Deagle. Able to get some cash collected out of it at least.
That's solid stuff right there. Coming through from
and
Lexicus.
I said I was doubtful of a 9-6, but it might be about to happen.
Yeah, it's very likely. At this point, the momentum's just rolling right now. I mean, once those opening frags have stopped going their way, it's just required of Inshaniak to make these aggressive plays every round, or else the executes are going to be too much. And now it's burning down in the flames. Banana is fully compromised. B's fully compromised, and it should be a night here unless a retake of a proportion I don't see that often can come through here. Already back Hall's control.
Happens because George wants more, and Saniac will put an end to his rage. Stop him from fighting even more. But still, it is 3v4, and Sexy will just scope down the Saniac through the smoke, because why not? I think Pluto's aware of Hate's position. Will at least take him down, but still, it's a 1v3, and there's an entire T side wanting to hunt him down. It's giving him the chance to retake back into this, but the op from Sexy is always enough to finish the job and get Triumph the lead at 9-6 going to the CT side.
Very, very strong lead right there. For the boys over at Triumph, they'll take that one happily, considering the start. I mean, if you take a look at the scoreboard right now, that was a 8 rounds in a row that they were able to take over GGPR, only getting that 1 round early on and finishing things off at 9. So, I mean, I don't know what was the difference maker there, but it did seem like they had a good answer for what was being thrown from Chaniak. They also were able to stop Beaky Wow's uh, very successful anchoring. And so at the end of the day, we close out 9-6 with those two factors alone.
Yeah, I'd say GGPR's default was very static overall, and even though it was likely a very new one, probably why I caught Triumph off guard, but once they were able to adjust, they were able to just counter it every time and just play around them and get those adjustments to just completely start running over them again. But now this means with the side swap that we could see some surprises from GGPR, and if Triumph are able to hold on to them, or if they need some time to adjust to get that dominance we've been seeing so far come out once again.
We're going to see some stuff come through, I imagine, from GGPR. On the other end of things, I'd like to see Triumph really lock things down. You mentioned that this map very, very util centric in terms of how you're going to mount a defense there. I mean, Banana's a one-way choke point that you can throw mollies down, you can throw smokes down. So I imagine Triumph are going to be doing a whole lot of that. We saw GGPR kind of attempt it in interesting fashions and forms, but for the most part, they conceded banana control most of those rounds, and when they didn't, they were catching heavy amounts of nades.
Yeah, on top of that too, Triumph, like once they understood what the game plan was and how GGPR were playing, they just constantly adjusted how they went for the same things. They just sometimes went aggressive to retake banana. Sometimes they would go through the apartments with two players to be sure to trade effectively, just in case they decide to have the op there. And a lot of the reads and calls they make have been working out and just allow them to get those punishes.
Running a quick Inferno execute. We can get some camp pass going in the meantime. But yeah, see what? No buys yet in this place. We got Nchaniak and Cuz both buying armor here. I wonder if we're going to see the rest of them do the same as we're waiting on this finisher to get the ball moving. You have these long halves here, a little halftime break.
Yeah, certainly the case. See a little bit of armor picked up on GGPR. Be nice to see a little bit of utility, but want to see them just try to abuse the strength of the Glocks. Speaking of pistols, interestingly enough, Sexy usually use the P2000.
I'm trying to remember. I believe he did at Bragg. Yes. I remember thinking I thought he went for a play that I was like you can only do that with a P2K, and I think he just uses it all the time maybe. So interesting to see. I feel like that's kind of fallen out of the wayside recently.
I mean, it's usually always been on the wayside. The main benefit of the USP, like the weapons may be comparable, but the fact that the USP has far less ammo is usually considered a strength because you can easily just burn mags and have what should be a very deadly weapon against the Glocks become something useless to use against the other USP players because there's no ammo left in the weapon when you pick it up. But of course, that's obviously not an issue with the P2K that has infinitely more reserve mag. But it also means you can fire a lot more shots. So depending on what you do, if you can go for a lot of spammy engagements, say with through smokes and stuff, through banana, you still have only one more bullet in the mag, so don't have that much extra room to spam compared to the Glock. But it's more to work with than it's given credit.
I mean, you could maybe use it towards banana here if you get rushed upon. Be an effective position. See, more pauses. Classic here in the halftime. I like it though. You get to talk things over. Maybe GGPR can figure out a real game plan for the second half because first half started out their way. I think they just ran out of steam and could not close things out because again, it was 8 rounds in a row here at one point that they were able to get into, and all of a sudden it just looked like they lost control.
Yeah, that's a sign a lot of it has been the knowledge get up. A lot of the plays were from sneaky moves and knowledge to be able to surprise Triumph and get those picks. So they were already put in a disadvantageous position. But once they knew how to make that stop happening and react to the moves GGPR were making, they had nothing left to be able to follow it up and just kind of crumble when caught out. And it seems like we're starting to see why, because having technical issues.
Oh, tech issues. Classic. Bane of our existence. We will get into things here shortly. We'll say, I guess, in the meantime, we can take a look at the moment of what we are rocking with in terms of the bracket here for the closed qualifiers, because right now we are sitting in the, let's see here, the lower bracket actually. So this is, or rather upper bracket, my apologies. We were sitting with Triumph already taking a 2-0 victory over ATK, who is currently leading Third Impact over on the other stream, and GGPR
Oh,
actually took a 2-0 victory over Third Impact as well. So now we're heading into,
it's because Lowriders returned. That's what's going on.
oh, is he joined back? Lovely. Good
Yep,
timing.
yep. Uh, wise words from Sexy. Better late than never, which is a very true statement to make.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes we gotta, I feel like he's at work or something, which is always a tricky thing to handle. I know he's got a real life that he has to deal with, being one of the older guns in the scene. So, because he did a good job, but he's gonna be sitting this one out here, and now slotting in is going to be the likes of, well, I've got, is it Lowrider in the server now?
Yep.
Oh boy, this is gotta do a number on my HUD, I think. Let's figure it out. We got this though.
Mm. Yep. He's suddenly here now. Have to worry about that. Nice to see him be able to show up and participate some in this.
For sure, yeah, I'm excited. He's unfortunately not going to be playing, I believe, on that CT side. Starting off on the T side, he can be super sick with the AWP.
Might be able to be just as important. The ability to coordinate and just have the team be more familiar is very valuable on that T side. So might help them get more rounds here and stay competitive.
Oh boy, I'm trying to. I think might have caused a little bit of chaos in the HUD department. I think I can figure it out here. We should, usually spamming the refresh button will fix stuff, but right now it hasn't quite done that just yet. I think it should sort itself out once we get things started. If not, I can just go for the default HUD here for the remainder of this map, and we can get things fixed to the third. We'll see how things pan out, though.
I mean, surprised we'll have to see a third for that to be the case, and I'm not entirely sure that's going to be the case if things continue. GGPR have been able to get a lot of surprises out of us so far, but still not the favor to get ourselves to a decider, or at least as of now.
Still refreshing. No luck just yet. Yeah, I imagine we'll get things nailed out in the once we go live here. But as for the defense, I've seen 6C play B quite a bit here. As that Opper, I'm wondering if he's going to be changing it, because on his previous rosters, he has been one to double op with that B bomb site. I feel like he did it on Triumph when he was on before he moved to the other roster, but before he moved to Choco Check, I believe. But maybe he can opt down Banana and have some similar impact. I imagine it would be playing pretty fluid throughout the map, as often oppers are forced to do. And Shaniak, we saw a little bit of that from him. But waiting on things to expire here. Trying to throw that block out of the map here. It's not working.
Yeah. Clock from player from the wrong server. It's going to have, because be able to have powers from the grave, the virtual one. Just be able to enhance. but it's blocked off. No way to throw the Glock out. Just have an extra unneeded 6 Glock just in existence. No matter what Beaky does, he just can't get rid of it.
I'm looking at the chat right now. I see it.
He's cursed. Glued, unable to escape.
Still trying. Come on, one more. You gotta really throw it up high. Is there any chance, as a map maker, that you know if that's blocked off?
It absolutely is.
Okay.
If you can actually see it just bouncing off of nothing, if he throws it right.
Yes, it does look like that's got what's going on here. He's hitting a brick wall.
Amusing.
I imagine
I
the
can't remember if the entire spawn of T is blocked off when they started adding clipping to it.
yeah,
Because you used to be able to throw weapons like right off of spawn during freeze time, and
that's a great way to troll.
if you accidentally threw an AK out, that would be a very tragic thing to happen, or even an AWP in spite of someone.
Right. Yeah. I mean, imagine you are someone who's not trying to win the game. You're sitting there throwing an op out into the water, and then it's not like you could throw a grenade, get that one back. That one's swimming with the fishes here down below, so no luck there. But with that being said, I might throw it into a quick break here. We'll be back with the second half here shortly. I'll keep an eye out. It might not be too long. We're still unsure of delay. Might take a little bit before Lowrider can jump in, but we will be right back. Stay tuned to the DreamHack TS broadcast. We'll be back with the second half coming up.
Spending life like we're wasting game to play. Cause the life that you got is all you're gonna get. So don't waste another day. This could be something better, this could be brand new. So get up and make a plan. Cause the next day ain't for sure, and this moment could be your last. But it burns, coming alive, wishing for something real. And it hurts, living a lie, nothing is more surreal. Flashbacks coming like a movie scene, strange to see yourself on the screen. But it burns, wildfires in our dreams. The sun should fly before the fall. And don't you think that you're so
And we are back here into the second half of map 2. We've got the ball moving here once again, and look at this work of art we were able to create here in the freeze time. We got a little cowboy hat, almost in a full 360-degree radius, but we did not have enough pause time to make it all the way there, so we will kind of cut that one short. Either way, into the second half here, and we're going to see a little bit of utility bot up, a nade and a kit here, and a full utility set bot in 6C. This is an interesting start to the round here for the CT side.
Yeah, and the most important thing, that extra Glock has been removed. Unacceptable to be on the playing
Yes.
field. Must be terminated for a legitimate game.
Competitive
Or the curse
integrity.
will reign supreme of the 6th Glock. The forbidden weapon. Looks like they're interested in going for apps here early. And after going for some initial control, they're just keeping with a 4-stack. Starting to worry a little bit more towards Balk and going for that info. And Jordan's able to find that first contact, and that's going to make Triumph stay locked down on this A site. Just waiting for players to go on in. And they're dedicating to this. Will is able to find that first contact. George with one before getting taken out. And an amazing headshot onto Hate. Sexy's already very low HP, brought down to 11, but he's on the other bomb site, so it doesn't matter. But it's up to Iki, has to do a 1v5 clutch to get another pistol round in the favor of GGPR.
Slip past each other, one through apartments, one up lane here, and now we get a kind of idea. B is looking like a tempting option here, but he might walk into this long range angle of 60. One bullet would do the trick. Oh, the timing so unfortunate. Spots out the likes of 60, and now he's going to reposition. And Beaky starts to get the idea that maybe B's the best option. He's going to start to accelerate. It will be 60, though, left to meet him. With an HE in his hand here, could do all of the damage. The site starts to be pressed upon. It will be that B bomb site meetup between these two players here. Here's the footsteps, and all 60 has to do is wait for that bomb to be planted. He's going to fully stick it, and 60 peeks off the back of it, catches him in the back, denies the bomb plant, denies the clutch as well.
I thought I was about to go for a certain tactical crouching maneuver there for a second.
I'm surprised, you know. Tactical crouching is a very effective way to get to your opponent's head.
And some other things. But it'll be Triumph with a full set of MP9s to handle the anti-eco against GGPR. Being all set up, good to go, and it'll be Beaky with that flashbang to try to help them get banana control. Triumph try to keep them back using with the smoke and fire, keeping them away, and with the fire going away first, they decide to push through mid first. That'll be the logic they use to go through, so they try to get some apartments control, but Hate doesn't like anyone barging in his apartment complex that easily. Takes JT out of the round, and takes Low Rider as well. Says he didn't knock. And finds more. 60 is able to take down another. And Insaniac's able to find one before George finds the last remaining player. And Hate shows his zero toleration policy for not having manners when entering the apartment.
They're jumping along the fire escape right there. Gotta be careful. Sure you knock before entry, as we're going to see a lot of MP9s, in fact, come through from Triumph. This is the issue. Once you invest into these into that second round, knowing that you're likely up against Glocks, You bring it out into this third round of the half here, and you're going to be lacking heavily. You need to take some sort of ground. You need to close the distance between the AK and the MP9 to get the real effect of this weapon, and they're kind of trying to do that with banana control being pressed upon.
Yeah, but I mean, if they take this round away with the MP9s, it'll be an absolute nightmare. They'll have all the bonus cash and everything to work with. Beaky's able to find that distance duel, but even then still able to get away until Pluto's able to get Exceed down and Exceed as well. Fully handedly taking the A site alone. And just low HP on all 4 of these players. Playing CS on hardcore mode. Everyone's fragile, and they're both trying to rotate together through mid. The main important player is Pluto. He should be able to take up to 3 shots. And it looks like they're both interested in retaking through the apartments. Just playing through that direction. Which might work out well, considering it's Onyx playing from quad.
It's a
Needs
nade.
to be able to land the first shot clean against Pluto, though.
I walked out of apartments
There is
here.
that nade on Soniac, but I don't think he's going to be using it.
Ooh.
Till then. George, as he drops down, Pluto misses the shot. An opportunity for George. Won't be able to find that ace clutch, though. Will only get 4 of the 5. And be settled down, at least for now.
Back into it here. Lowrider a little bit slow to start, but no surprise. He's just gotten into the server here, so he's probably taking a little while to heat up. And now we got a tactical pause called out by Triumph here at the moment. Trying to decide what exactly they have in store for this buy. It's going to be a little investment, but not too much, to make sure that they can get some decent weaponry into this next one. Loss bonus of 1900. You're only going to really see George lacking in this next round. Maybe 60 as well. But everyone else looking pretty comfortable. And Hate can even drop over an AWP to 60.
Yeah. I'm ticking, and they are at least in the position. Triumph have to just go for some pistols in this round. Very important clutch that GGPR were able to barely win out. And it means that even though their money's low, these MAC-10s end up being a feature and a benefit. Because it means they can get that bonus money running over these unarmored players. They're trying to find just the right timing on these HEs to get the damage in. And a beautiful deep Molotov forced them to decide which direction they're going. But looks like they're getting positioned for these nades. But they are missing for the most part. But that Deagle from Exceed will not. Blind spray from Beaky's able to find 1, but Exceed's now found 2.
Uh-oh. Other than that, 60's going to hold down the line here on the A-bomb site, putting it into a 2v3, still maintaining that man advantage and forcing JT to group up towards A, but in the meantime, Pluto has pushed the issue.
But they've never cleared pit. Sexy's still just chilling here. Gets hit by the molly, getting forced out in the open, and finally taken on down. It'll be all up to Hate. Succeed would simply just have the miracle of lurking at just the right time through the smoke, and might actually be able to save it at just the last second, but the flashbang works well, and it's up to JT to find that quick headshot onto Hate to make sure things are kept well enough together, as that was moments from disaster from that Deagle lurk.
It really was. He was so close to swinging that round another way right there, and instead it's going to be a closer from GGPR, but
If he wasn't, yeah, if he wasn't crouching, I'm pretty sure he would have been able to find and just obtain that headshot, and that would have been enough to seal it right there.
I think so as
Fortunately
well.
for GGPR, he crab walked his way onto the site.
Back to the
But
triple
now
banana
the-
setup.
Yeah,
Oh,
going off of it really quickly though.
Loretta taken down to 11 HP already to start this round off. Not very healthy, to say the least here. He's starting the round on hard mode. And, I mean,
Yeah, certainly a rough way to start it. Has to, worst case, be kind of like bait for his team to trade. A bit rough of a situation. Players are just holding, crawling around this mid-smoke. Just holding for any potential push around it. And Exceed will go for that boiler control. And Hate will join him as well. Comrades in arms protecting the apartments. Just they set up to go mid, and Hate will find that first pick, run back to the site, and just allow those apartments to be held with from Exceed. And JT doesn't clear the balcony. He has no idea there's a player right behind him, and I don't think anyone has any idea.
Oh, it's
He has the
bomb.
knife out, and that's the bomb! In a 5v3 situation, stuck in balcony. It's an absolute disaster, and Hate's probably prepared to swing to just find another. Though good news is they're able to get that bomb back, but not without consequences. Exceed able to take down Beaky, and Will still close here to mow down and confirm the round, having George help out to allow him to get that double on Pluto.
What a rough go about right there. They dropped the bomb in apartments, and on top of that, the last 2 rounds have come down to the 1v1s here. That GGPR were able to convert. Look at the money right now. We are sitting at pots and pans here. I don't even know if they'll be able to upgrade off of the Glocks. And they're going to go for a force play. They know it's in double save territory. And, oh, man. This could be Triumph inching closer and closer to the 2-0. But still, I mean, there's a chance with this force play to get the job done. They just have to hit some nice shots. That's what they're trying to do here. Get into the early apartments. Johnny Ack has found himself an opener and has been able to grab himself an MP9. Can he get out? That's the question here.
Maybe able to, and Pluto with another pick now into Exceed. And just with all of that map control, things start to become an issue. Interestingly, Sexy's taking the gamble of rotating towards B. It is the right call. George is able to find the first, going aggressive, able to find 2 before being taken out, and Wills will follow up and keep things up in that even situation. And Sexy's aware of Pluto's shenanigans. He's trying to go towards this A site. Able to try to quickly avoid him, but just strafing and just bursting him down, making it impossible for this op to take him out. That'll be Wills with the mid-rotate to try to win this 1v2 retake.
If B Wills is clutch enough, here he's pushing up towards lane. There's 2 players, one watching that long angle, one watching the short. And that will be the decision of B Wills walking up towards Arch, or rather short position. There's 2 right around the corner. He has to clear out pit. That's a big issue. He's been spotted on the jiggle. Pluto just holds down mouse 1 to find the eventual headshot there. GGPR, I talked about how we could be inching towards a 2-0, but that's a brilliant response right there. A eco round victory, or rather force by round victory, to keep GGPR in contention on Inferno.
Yeah, favor's certainly in Triumph's favor still, but it is certainly by an inch and slowly progressing, as it looks like Triumph just decided to go for a force of their own. We're back to the good old classic force by wars. And it looks like their solution is having 4B instead of 3. Clearly not enough players. Need to go more aggressive. Start with heavy utility and just go for the fight. Able to catch Lowrider with utility out. Do heavy damage onto him, as well as get that initial pick on JT. And they're just rushing forward off of it until just now. And now they all have to rotate. Sexy's calling. They're all coming here. He is just a Deagle and Cold Sierra, and Beaky midair with the Mac-10 just hits him in the head. But it's still a 4v4 retake. Fair possibility at this. So they get the space to push in, especially if Soniac keeps missing these shots. Though it looks like he'll not make that mistake twice and make sure there's no room given. And Pluto will help him out, and they pick apart the entire defense trying to retake that bomb site. And able to get GGPR now in double digits.
There's a world where 60 could have mounted a defense, but the jumping Mac-10 shows him otherwise right there. And exactly right. Could be double it is double digits, rather. It could be even more here. Let's look at the buy that's going to come out. Not a single thing upgraded upon, and they're just going to run it down mid with 4 players, it seems. They're just going to take the fight to USPs out. Flashbangs up to deter them, and Shaniak, he's going to have himself a shooting range here as he looks for more. Taking some damage here, and Shaniak actually goes down there. Early dismissal for him as he's not able to get some of those confidence building ecos. And now Exceed has found himself last alive. They're heading his way as well.
Yeah, might as well, because for the most part, there's not really much to do with pistols in this round. Just don't worry about having a game plan. You already feel like you have the confidence. You're a map up. This is your own map pick. Maybe a little bit of stress is coming on in, but just don't worry about it. Let them get that round, move on, and progress to the next. But looks like technical pause coming on out. Give Triumph a minute. Will be needed. Lowrider still with the Mac 10 currently. I believe both the kills he's gotten so far have been with it.
Making good use of that SMG. And he's kind of slow to start, but he's able to get a couple of frags in that last round and the round before. Now, this is a rather large swing round right here. If Triumph can convert this, that'll put them back into the driver's seat. They need to maintain their composure because it's going to be a couple of gun rounds in a row before they ever get a chance to topple the economy, before they ever get a chance really to breathe a nice sigh of relief and keep GGPR at bay. They're doing a great job of trying to close it out. Now it just was required a couple more to take this into overpass.
Yep, but there's one small problem getting in the way of it. Which is technical pause slowing things out.
Tech pauses. Always good to have a nice little bit of break here in the action here. Much needed breather. Triumph. Again, they need to kind of gather some composure at the moment. Not sure how long this will last here. It should be over.
Whatever it is, it's not the classic TeamSpeak has crashed. That's been infamous over the years.
Oh yes. TeamSpeak has crashed. We need some time to talk things over. Not that. Surely not. I mean, they still have 3 timeouts left, so
yeah.
got plenty
And
of
this
tacticals.
is likely no doubt it's a valid reason for everything going on.
We also got the coach of Ninja in GGPR as well. So interesting thing is that they kind of switch in between Flash Step as their coach and Ninja, and I think that he's actually got some time off of work to sub in and coach this match. So he's going to be doing the coaching in this week as he's got some time off of work. It's exciting to see. Maybe partially the reason why they weren't not only able to best third impact in a 2-0 fashion with a roster that I was a little bit worried about, but on top of that, take down what could be a very nice map victory over Triumph if they're able to convert off of this one.
Yeah, getting this round would be certainly a way for them to confirm that advantage and start closing things out with their favor. But they still have to buy up once technical issues get resolved. But the main issue is they do have low money overall for a full buy, about 4,600. Maybe a little bit difficult to get all the utility they would like, considering GGPR have everything they want to work with. Might make things difficult. Might take some risks and fall apart quickly if they try to find some opening picks to give them the room to breathe and some advantages.
Yeah, I'm wondering what they're going to go for here. If they're going to play more safe or if they're going to go more aggressively. Just no real way to tell just yet. I mean, I feel like some of their aggression has been punished. They went for that B-side stack in that previous round, and it started off nice. They found it opening frags. They were able to do good damage, but what that happened was it left Dixie alone towards B, and so he was obviously going to get overwhelmed by the aggression that headed his way, and that's exactly what happened. Just a jumping Mac 10 kill to lock that one in.
Yeah, things certainly weren't the best or whatever, but the main issue is the rotation time. Just trying to go through CT. Normally when you go for that aggressive play, you take banana and push through to do things. But
I do have
I'll have
some
to see.
good news,
Yeah.
though. We should be getting back into things shortly. I believe that Triumph have on paused here, so we got one piece of the puzzle. We should get into the match here. Yeah, the rotations, you're exactly right. They did not come in time, and I think they kind of had the information as well. Once you kind of show your presence of 4 towards B, it needs to be much quicker that you rotate back towards A. You know the exact reaction that's going to come is just a B-side approach, like a full-on rush. And the numbers weren't there to meet the defense. That's a great point.
Yeah. The one thing is, Lowrider's still stuck to this Mac 10. You can see the AWPs in the ground for Insaniac at least, but question is if Lowrider sticks with the Mac 10 for more. But
I got
looks
the
like
other
things
half
do
ready.
have to get organized. Yeah.
Good news. Maybe soon. Those tech
Are
pauses.
all ready, but probably complications on the organizing and making sure everything's done correctly. Which I wonder if Lowrider's going to keep this Mac 10 just because that's what he's been able to find the frags with so far. Just having a bit of a rough time.
If he does keep the Mac 10, then I want to see him kind of fly somewhere. Really use it to its full effect in terms of gaining map control. He needs to be that first man in, which is kind of what we are, kind of what we've been seeing so far from some of these aggressive plays. But for the most part, best way to use that is flying around the corner. I mean, who told that better than 60 being taken down here? But we are on pause. We're back into the game. We'll get into this one. Second half continues here. Triumph. They're bleeding a little bit of a lead that they've had, and they're actually going for an half buy here, not fully committed to this.
I kind of agree with that. He's mentioning all the difficulty being able to get everything you need, the utility and AWP, everything you want to work with. Just get a half buy and just get that money built up to work with. Let GGPR get an even score line 12-12. Like, as the worst case, have a reasonable chance to fight against it, and then give yourself the best chance possible on round 25.
Makes sense. Lines up here. Especially getting 60 of that AWP as soon as possible. That'd be a huge bolster.
It's also refreshing to see a little bit more of a conservative and a long-term play. Usually see very aggressive and full dedicated plays done, especially by American teams. Usually, it feels like trying to go aggressive for those opportunities. Like Exceed, able to find that deep shot on the Lowrider, but still it's just George and Will's left on the wrong bomb site. Unable to rotate, and only one pick found as the bomb goes down. Looks like GGPR will be able to convert this round. Fortunate for Triumph, they have little reason to save these, so they can just try to catch some exits or other sorts of damage on the way through.
Be a nice little exit. Pick up an AK or two. Smoke rattling off. I mean, Johnny, no way you go through that. Okay. Would have been rather risky here. He's got one chasing him behind. Oh, he slipped past his teammate, but Johnny hits a no-scope. What? How does he even do that? I cannot even follow. Alrighty, I guess B-Wills is going to hold on to his armor and his deagle. That will be extra money in his pocket for the next one. That one was a little bit bizarre.
Yeah, will be a free upgrade at least, so won't be too bad. It'll save him even more, probably for that AWP. Makes sense. Be able to get picked up. Going for the AUG, actually.
Ooh. That'll be a
Sexy
little...
does have that beautiful AWP out.
Yeah, I want to see what he does, if he's going to go for any sort of aggression here. Positioning maybe shows towards apartments as he's starting to jump that way. But he just posted up here under porch. Ready for anyone that comes his way. Very patient here, but the aggression will line on in. They're throwing the utility. They're throwing quite a bit, in fact. As the smokes comes out, Flashbangs follow it up here, and he's going to have a tough time. He's solo on this position. Blinds blind him up here. Flash doesn't blind him up, rather. And the counter flashbang is good. Pluto's missing some spam. 60 misses another. Deagle's out, and eventually he'll be able to land it. Going with the Deagle once again is Pluto, but he'll be bested by Exceed. And now the spam smoke coming through. JD is fighting his way out of this situation, but the trades somehow maintain a rather decent position for the T side, 2v2.
An important shot missed by Insaniac, trying to catch that mid-rotation. He's able to get the space to go into apartments. Or just holding, and they're both going to try to retake from Arch. Just a Soniac with this AWP. Be up to him to find all these openings and opportunities. Able to re-smoke George and stop any movement from going in just yet. Beaky now sticking to plant. And that smoke's rather deep, gives plenty of room for Beaky to hold for any pushes. And decides to actually go into the graveyard position. Nasty one to have, but his position's getting hard cleared out. B-Will's able to find that trade. And more importantly, I think B-Will saw Soniac's position, but not able to win the duel despite it. Soniac faster on the pull once he peeks on out. And GGPR able to get that lead back. Probably their first, most significant lead of the series. At least this late in. Of course, had the 6-1 lead earlier.
And Shaniak with a huge clutch right there. Needed that one. He's able to pull it across the line. Now we get ever so close to map victory here, but B-Wills sends one down. Lowrider forced to watch from the sidelines now, as he's put his team into a 4v5 early on, lacking that control as well. They're going to continue their efforts in towards this A side of things. You got to be careful on the jiggle here. Spotted out now, and they're just going to smoke off banana. This is how you want to play it in a more passive style, especially when you have a 4v5.
Absolutely. And Wills is absolutely destructive. Double mollies and an HE thrown his way. He still gets the pick and gets away with 2/3 of his health still intact. Absolutely silly. It seems Beaky is considering Will's position, but actually decides not to last second because of all this CT noise. And they just now have 3 players stacked up on B, and even a rotation cut off from Hate.
Oh,
He'll be able to call this rotation, maybe even get picks. Just waiting and able to catch just right angle, and it's delaying him from pushing, and he finds the headshot on JT.
Oh!
Makes it 2, taking down the Saniac, and now Pluto's left, able to crouch below the shot, making sure Hate doesn't make it 3, but still left in a 1v4, surrounded in all angles, bound to fall apart, and Sexy will be the one to take it and make sure this game keeps even 13-13 with just some measly pistols. Started off of a beautiful deagle shot in Banana.
it started off of that. Yes, you're exactly right, but some mistakes being made here from the GGPR camp at the worst possible time. We're talking, that was your chance to gather 14 rounds right there, put yourself in a winning position, and they kind of struggle at the finish line right there. Pushing through that CT, or rather banana smoke, was pretty rough, and then, I mean, hey, there's nothing you can do when you hit steal shots like that, but from then on out, it was a 3v5. They were forced to walk into that trap of Hate, so really good round to win at the perfect time here for Triumph. We'll see.
I love the aggressive call made by Beaky. It's just tragic no one was with him to actually follow it up. Just left him exposed single-handedly, and he chose the wrong angle to try to clear first and gets taken down because of it, and that's what started all this to happen. And looks like there'll be a little bit more possibility. I think Hate will be going a bit more, going for this main short anchor, cause more trouble.
Smoke out towards... Okay, that lands out towards Arches. A little angle cover here. Molotov is going to rain on out as well towards under porch, maybe? I like to see who that is. Pluto trying to play off the one-way here. And they're trying to make their way in towards A, but they're telegraphing it pretty heavily. 50 seconds left onto the clock, and you can see that there's 2 B players here in the form of B-Wills and George. They have Molotovs, they have utility. Now they don't. That one just got thrown down. The A side execute's going to come here shortly, and there's going to be a lot to defend against.
Ball is going to be heard and is going to call more info. They know everyone's crawling behind this, and Hate has this late smoke just to throw down. It's going to cause even more problems. Sexy and Seed able to find 1 each. Only 3 left. Able to find 1 pick in Be all up to them.
Oh,
Lowrider trying to find a gap through the smoke, and George is abusing that smoke. It's like a one-way just for him. Just abuse how he wishes. Exceed's just hiding here. Finally gets taken down. But Hate gives away his position, but they have to grab the bomb. There's 5 seconds. They can't win
oh,
this round. It doesn't even matter.
oh.
And with it, Triumph have 14. Might be able to, if they keep this round, it's going to be a broken economy for GGPR, and it's going to be the thing sealed. And looks like
Quick pause.
I called the future as we get our familiar friend TeamSpeak causing obstruction.
Yeah, I mean, right now, GGPR have to be feeling some pressure. If this round fails to convert, it'll be dismissal into the lower bracket for them. I don't think it comes as much a surprise with the current form that Triumph are heading into this this tournament, and they in some of the more impressive recent results were able to take best of threes off of teams like Extra Salt. So introducing Hate into and rather introducing not Hate, introducing Exceed, my apologies, into this roster only bodes better for them, as well as Rizu had to step away for personal reasons. Now seeing him step into this roster, I loved watching him on GGPR. It's really a terrifying team to play up against, and you can see in the scoreboard as well.
That being said, though, considering how recent the swap was and everything, considering GGPR up to 13 and keeping the second map of Inferno so competitive so quickly with the changes made and everything is very impressive and a good sign to show that they've been able to adjust very well considering losing one of their best players. And they're still able to perform despite that and keep the scoreline even neck and neck the entire time on the second map. Vertigo was a bit of a different story, but always time to learn and progress.
Certainly is. And yeah, Vertigo, it wasn't as confident, that's for sure, but they are putting up a great fight, like you mentioned, on Inferno, and especially kind of working with the not necessarily shattered state. I never like to call GGPR a shattered team because they always seem to bounce back after losing some of their star players. This happens season after season. A lot of times, the players getting poached to better teams, such as Exceed stepping into Triumph, for example. It's nothing new here for this roster. So the key defining factor is the fact that it never seems to break them down. It never seems to keep them out of it. Not only just premier level, but keeping competitive in these tournaments. So the fact that they're doing so well against this team right now, super promising.
Yeah, and that gives credence to the fact of just being able to be consistent and how good the structure of the actual organization of the team is. The fact that they can bounce back so quickly from roster changes and be just as much on form as they were from just the adjustments made. It's going to be very difficult to deal with, but looks like they've been able to make the best of it. So we still wait for some technical issues to get dealt with. Be a very important round. We can try to look at the cash. Most of the money on the CT side being held by Exceed, but should be enough that might be a weapon or two off.
Yeah, it's weird.
Trying to look through.
I imagine that Lowrider would prioritize getting himself, more utility, as he's not necessarily IGLing that, but he's still, more of a. He's not going to be your star on this roster. You're looking more towards. Right now, it seems Pluto and Shaniak and Beaky. But I imagine he'll be buying more of a utility centric buy, even though we can afford an AK. The rest of them looking good except for Beaky. That's really only the question mark that I have right now. What is he gonna go for in this round? Because it's whatever he does attempt, it's gonna be lacking.
Yeah. Most reasonable assumption is I'm going to be expecting George with probably a FAMAS on the CT side. With just how their money breaks down, if they want to value and actually get all that utility. Exceed's only going to be able to drop one M4, and it'll be most likely just fitting for B-Wills to be the one to toss a FAMAS over. Just since he already has all of his utility and weaponry purchased on up.
That's true. He could go for the no utility classic. Take an early fight, maybe. But might throw it into a quick break. I'm going to check one thing before I do. Might jump the gun here. But yeah, we're going to throw it into a quick break here. We will be back shortly after that. We will be finishing out this game. Stick with us. We will be right.
Spending life like we're wasting time. Only sleepless nights without a clue. Lost inside, thinking deep in time. Will your heart cross mine when I'm with you?
And we are back there. I told you it would be a short break. Didn't think it'd be that short, but I think I've kind of cursed it there by throwing it into the break. And as soon as I did that, I saw the ready messages start to pop up. We are back into things here. We're going to see a interesting buy coming through. Beaky's onto a Tech 9. The rest are looking pretty good here, but a push. Oh, banana? No, not quite. Push up banana coming through from the T side. And it does look like on the other side of things, B-Wills and George are looking for some aggressive approaches towards banana.
Yeah, Molly forced them forward, and they're deciding to take these engagements. B-Wills with a very nice setup flash on sandbags. Just waiting to go on out with it, but Bleaky finds the double with the Tech 9. Takes full control. Sexy's able to find one, but that Tech 9's causing issues. And in the midair, just completely shutting down the round, and Bleaky is single-handedly keeping GGPR in this series. Hate runs on through, finds a good headshot. But still, Beaky lives, and he wants to cause more trouble. Sexy left a 1v3. No economy left for Triumph. And he can try to go for this retake, but it goes at the risk of making there even less weapons as GGPR get positioned to go to 15.
You gotta run away here, but that Molly shows that he's not ready to give this one up. He forces out the line here. He gets legged down. He's getting spammed through the wall as well. Nothing's working out, and he's gonna be forced to retreat, but he's on the hunt. He's able to find him, and there's no guns being brought into this. Triumph are going to give up 14 to GGPR off the back of Beaky with a 4K Tech 9 play. Jumping up for that third kill as well, midair. And the other two were beautiful. I mean, what can you do against that right there? Triumph are feeling a little bit nervous.
Give credit for the fact that both Beaky and Pluto have 27 frags. That is absolutely insane. Very strong performance coming on out. And it's just Deagles for Triumph. Single CZ on George. That's been enough to cause trouble previously. But they'll have to go for it once again. And that nade's going to be a fantastic way to start it. Bring JP down to 55. And George is already interested in trying to lurk further. Find some more info. Maybe a pick. Just wait for a potential boost. Look like he's quickly adjusting. Able to throw a smoke. Denying the push on in. But the Frosting Scales, he turns back at the wrong time, but still able to find one out of it. Sexy even steals the AWP from the player he frags. Not able to take anyone down with it. Or the HE find anything, but he has Hate rotating now with him. And they actually have a fair chance until that happens. And JT is able to take him down, leaving Hate in a 1v3. All these players so tagged. Just takes one Deagle shot to find any frags. Still, he has to find that shot. Could have that AWP, but isn't paying attention to JT. Doesn't notice him swinging. And he'll be able to take him down from spools. And GGPR First one to get to 15. Triumph still have a fair chance to get this map, but they're going to have to do it past regulation to make sure they close it in 2 and deny GGPR from upsetting them on their own map choice.
This is incredible stuff. You accredited Pluto. You accredited Beaky. Those two players stepping up in a big way. And Shaniak doing some same with some nice clutches as well. But this would be a huge victory for GGPR, keeping Triumph away from their own map pick. OT's the best case scenario now for them. And we'll see if Triumph have enough gas in their tank to try and get us there, or if GGPR can close us out here. As we're seeing some nade stacks down Banana. Just a little bit of chip damage. Actually, it's going to be JT taking a heavy fire in this Molotov, showing that they want Banana control as well. Follow-up flashbang. They're going to take that control here. Around the corner here, but wait things out a little bit. They slow things down because the real play is going to be towards A at the moment.
Sexy's so dedicated on this, but he has the space. Gets the bomb carrier taking that first shot. Even able to smoke himself off short. Loses bomb reclaimed quickly after, fortunately for them. And there's a bit of an opening as Pluto gets that lurk. George is about to face an entire assault wave coming towards him. As soon as he shoulder peeks out, able to see info with that smoke. Push on through. JT's low, so he's able to find the double shot. Misses it, makes it 3. And now Pluto's left in a nightmare. 1v4. It's 3 players around this bomb. 30 seconds. No time to work with to deny Triumph from bringing this to past regulation. As Hate jumps on past, and George will close it out with a 4K of his own in response to Beaky to make sure that this series isn't over, or going over to the 3rd map just yet.
That is huge right there, George. I was worried about the positioning. They seem to have fallen off of that B bomb site just a second too early, and it could have caused a disaster to strike, but instead they fight against it. George, he didn't want to lose this map. He didn't want to take it into a 3rd instead. He closes things out, ties things up 15-15, keeping things close. We'll get a little
It's
bit
only
of
one. Yeah, it's only one thing I can be confident saying. That's things are about to get far crazier. I'm going to expect some wild aggressive plays from Triumph on Banana. They have gone for some aggression, but overall they've been fairly relaxed with it, just going for trying to like counter the site takes and to execute or touch them specifically at car.
What is the money we're going to be starting out with? 16K is what it looks like. So
The whole bank's being put in.
yeah, I mean, if that's the case, we'll have a CG side that feels no pressure. 60 will get that up every round.
Except possibly the 3rd. I'm pretty sure. With how things break down. At least if all the rifles fully invest every round. Depends on how they handle things.
A little bit of buying coming through. Kind of hints that things getting started here shortly. A little bit of a break in the action. Again, a lot of these long and strung out pauses can take a toll on you as a player as well. You gotta make sure you keep your head in the game. Keep the fight up. Everyone reeling to go. I think that it's going to be hard for GGPR to continue to rely on only 2 players in Beaky. Pluto, I guess you do have Lowrider, or rather, and Shaniak close by as well on 20 and 22. He's had himself a great game in terms of impact. But you've got 3 players right now stepping up to the plate. You just need to have Lowrider. You need to have a little more performance from JT to try and close this game out. Those 2 are going to be required to be called upon.
I mean, you shouldn't be expecting it, but if they've done it for 30, who's telling? They can probably do it for 30 more. Seem to have the energy to just kind of just do whatever they want, especially considering that they just mid-air shot with the Tech 9 point blank. Absolutely ludicrous.
Yes.
I think Beaky can do whatever he feels like.
Very true. He's looking super comfortable in Inferno.
Looks like he's not the only one, considering George with that impactful 4K to close out regulation. Keep up the trouble. Only frag not found by him was the opening by Sexy to force them to go to that B bomb site.
Back
Important
into
to
it.
see how these teams adjust, as they should be, in a sense, starting to throw the rulebook out and the playbook as well with it, and just do whatever they can. That makes sense. Or possibly doesn't make sense, but just might work. We'll have to see, as it looks like it's a fairly default play to start up. George with a very interesting molly, though. Counter smoke allowing them to get that early car control, at least try to, but it's early HEs punishing JT and Pluto. Beaky even being tagged. All these fantastic players already getting hampered by HP deficits.
JT's
Stop
even taking
JT
more.
from lurking. Yeah.
B will still posted up towards new box. It seems like they're getting a lot of fake utility out towards B, but the real plan of approach right now, considering the fact that everyone's rotated off, is over towards A set of things. Right now, 3 players bomb now posted up towards the top of Banana, so maybe I've spoken too soon here, as they do commit more presence in this position. Utility is looking very lacking as well for these B players here. We take a look at George, who has nothing to work off of, and only 1 smoke for B-Wills and a follow-up flashbang as well. With 45 seconds left into the round, I think you just need to get that smoke down before it's too late. B-Wills going to get that down eventually, and that's a great bit of timing right there. They might even boost up towards the top of triple.
They absolutely have the time to do it, and even more, they have the time to go for another rotation if they want. But looking at the fact they're doing this contact play, just doing a late smoke, it will set them for success, except for the fact that Wills is ready to follow up on George. Rip almost 3 to the ground. And Pluto's so low. Paid through that molly in the right spot. That would be even more trouble. And Sexy's prepared for the boost. Just takes down Isoniac without a care in the world, and now Pluto's left 1v3, able to dodge the shot from Sexy, but he can't avoid the spray from Seed. And with that, it'll be the first round of OT going to Triumph, able to get some AKs on their way out, even keeping 3 alive. Even though things won't be a concern with the round wins, it's always nice to have.
Yeah, 16K. It won't come at a cost of any worries there for the CT side. After winning that 1 round, you're free and ready to go for the remainder, and that's the case for Triumph. They'll have that first. They'll get their AKs in hand, and now it's up to GGPR to find a response in this one. You got a lot of the early momentum rolling in this first half of OT. Now you just need to couple it up, and they're going to try it with Inshaniak. Posted up towards the top of logs here, trying to catch a glimpse of the player in corner. Going for a wall bang shot here. It's going to be certain death if Hake peeks around the corner, but in the meantime, 60 is able to find himself an opener, and he's going for more here. Flashbang just doesn't come, a little too late, and 60 is able to find a kill on the opposite side with his pistol
Just
out.
does it with the P250.
Oh, what chaos.
And look at all the burn damage that's happened across the map overall, especially JT and Insaniac have 24 HP together, and they know Beaky's in CT. Hate's already looking for him, and that's your only full HP player, and he's getting hard red and taken out of the round. There's absolutely nothing they can do. Triumph are going to be positioned 17-15. Absolute confidence, and I'm not sure what GGPR can do here.
It's not going to be much. They boosted up in towards CT. There's a smoke in hand, but that boost is just going to make it obsolete. They're going for a contact play. They know they need to just take the fight here. They know they need to swing the man advantage back in their favor. But only 1 bullet's required here. No smoke just yet. When will they finally do it? Finally now, and it might be just too late. It gives up the game here. And Shawniak slipped the gap, but not for long. B-Will's spamming through the smoke. B-Will's going to spam for another, and 17 locked in here for Triumph.
I'm imagining a lovely world where he somehow knew all the damage they were and took a move out of Beaky's playbook and just jumped into them with a wild spray to take them both out.
That'd be awesome.
But I think we've had enough silliness.
Right.
And same with Triumph. They just want to get these rounds, close it out. There's been enough fun.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think that everyone's playing on the tip-top, most serious they can be. B-Wills, it would have been fun to go for a flying M4 spray down, but he chooses a much
Baiting
more
that shot.
tactical
And all
approach.
these mollies, it's forcing Soniac forward. He has to fight, able to find that first. But these players put in a poor position Banana. It'll be up to B-Wills to take it, but he just swings and gets taken out. And it's been a blunder as George is able to get 3. No one can break him.
He's got bomb dropped
And it's
as
still
well.
left an even 2-2. And Exceed has all the info. He literally knows where they are. Just sprays JT for free. And I'm pretty sure he's aware Pluto's towards CT. And if he isn't, they'll at least be aware that they have the bomb and Banana.
Oh, top of mid. He's going to walk down Pluto slowly but surely going to make his way right into the edge of a smoke, unfortunately enough for him. Follow-up Molotov as well from Exceed. Can come on out. He's trying to work this. He has to make a decision. Does he want to get that smoke down, give up his position, or is he just going to wait it out? And that's going to be the case right now. Clearing a couple of angles. Now it fades away, and Exceed is going to immediately dismantle him with the finishing blow. A flawless first half for Triumph as they look to close things out 2-0.
Now we are in a situation. GGPR have to get 3 in a row on CT just to follow up and have a second chance. Fought so hard, gotten past regulation, and fall apart just the last moment. And Triumph are taking it in stride. The fact that they're still moving on and in that position to be able to make sure that they close the series out in 2, but make sure it is certainly well fought on Inferno. As it seems like with every best of 3 with Inferno, doesn't matter when it is, it will always be an absolute chaotic blast of a match.
Very true. Yes, it always seems to be good for an overtime or a close matchup, and that's what we're seeing right now coming through from these two rosters. But at the moment, it does seem like GGPR have run out of steam here. Pluto unable to replicate those results despite dropping 30 kills, having himself a phenomenal game. It's just too much to call upon him. He's got a lot on his shoulders, and so far he's just not able to convert. And Shaniak in the last round tried the same, but George fires back with another heroic 3K.
The most insane thing is after the last 4 rounds, including that that last round in regulation, George, the top frag was handled by Beacon, even though Pluto's up to 31. George has gotten about 12 frags, I think. He's shot up to 32 frags now on the scoreboard, top on the server, and just doing this late round impact for Triumph and just keeping this B site intact, denying Beaky View. Or Beaky Wow. And with that being the case, just they're unable to get that B site and get those rounds. And I think George is the man to point to towards the end of the series and why things are going the way that they are.
That's exactly it there. Going to be 4 players stacked over towards the top of Banana at the moment, and an all-out brawl seems to be taking place here as well. A reposition. This is kind of what Triumph did in their CT side. They actually do rotate back towards A in a pretty quick fashion. As now they continue to take Banana control, forced off by the retake Molotov and smoke as well. And a slowing over the approach here for Triumph is in the cards. I think they just know that there's no pressure off their back. They can kind of just play however they want, wait for maybe a mistake to come their way, and try and find an opening in that department.
And it looks like with how this round's starting to brew on up, there's not going to be a chance for Beaky View to even be the initial contribution. It's going to be up to the other 3 of Pluto and Saniac and Lowrider. So they're getting ready. They're aware, and they're going aggressive even. They might be able to catch the info of see, but Pluto holding that trigger discipline, able to find 1. Lowrider's able to get that trade on the second and make it 2 while at it.
He's no longer an
option. That's when the
option.
bait and switch comes out. There's still a chance for Triumph in this round. 2v2 on this B bomb site effectively. Quad's position's red, and Hate finds the double, able to make it a 1v2. A very difficult round, but the clutch is on the cards, and Hate's ready to fold them. And Soniac and Lowrider's all in his way. And Lowrider's already looking this direction, and Hate finds him, takes him out, and Soniac is faking the defuse.
Oh, look at that.
It's so low HP. He just has to find one shot, and he's able to find that headshot. Barely keeps the dreams alive for GGPR.
Huge clutch right there.
Almost pulling that 1v4, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, very close there. He's able to find those trades on towards B. Isolated that first fight. Unfortunately for him, though, just takes too much damage to Lowrider on the inbound there in the post plant. So, unable to close it out. Another important clutch. That's what Shaniak is typically good for. A lot of these 1v1s have swung his way. He seems to do it in a consistent fashion. Still, it comes down to a 1v1 that you cannot feel confident about. Aggression up mid here from 60, dodging down that flashbang here, but he just takes full control of that Molotov. It doesn't scare him. That flashbang, it doesn't scare him. He wants this early positioning here, and he's going to take it by storm.
Yep, but they have all this Hall's control absolutely, and I think they're just working out of it, and they're just able to find the space and just go. And just out of nowhere, Seed's able to stay alive because of falling. Gets legged on the op shot, moving a little too fast. And it's a 4v3 advantage on the A bomb site from just walking out of halls and just jumping out with knife out. Absolute wild move from Wills to be able to catch Bluto. And it looks like 60's ready to end this all out. So they try to throw utility to retake back in. Hate with the blind fire spray. Should find Lowrider. Be Exceed to do so. JT does have a chance, but has no bullets left. Running on out, and poetically, George, since the beginning of